So, one of the things I did was I decided I was going to map out who does what when. Remember I talked about wins earlier, aligning your wins? Orange is trouble, as you know. I'm a color guy. If you're colorblind, I apologize. Just anybody colorblind? Okay, good. Most landscapers can't be. Just it's tough to put the pink flowers in with the red ones. It's an issue. So maybe you should have it on your screening question. Are you colorblind? Be a good HR screening tool. Anyway, I digress. So what I did is I took these roles, operations manager, crew leader, human resources, general manager, right up here to the financial end. And I mapped out like what causes us nightmares in operations. And it's all these things. And they're listed in the order of trouble. And where does it start? It's down here at the crew level. So if these things go bad, this goes bad. And then these problems start to go all the way down here to HR. So if I have high turnover, poor culture, poor communication because of the guy who likes to phone, and I have to fire you, what happens is now my poor person in the office is high turnover because nobody wants to follow a better process, and I have to issue a pink slip. I have to get recruitment to find another person. I have to onboard them. I have to train them. Right? When all it would take is for that one person to go, I'm going to email. Imagine that. Oh, it gets better. If you emailed, the delivery wouldn't have gotten screwed up and you would have got what you wanted when you wanted it. So now on the operations side, if I went back to that last slide here, I've gotten rid of this loop of the wrong materials at the wrong time. All because I emailed. That's how this works. So we got to straighten out those lines. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions? Clear as day? Cool. No one's colorblind. Okay, good. So I started to figure out, like, what is it that causes problems? The operations manager's job is the most difficult in some ways and the easiest in others because things happen so fast. This person has to be able to multitask. This person has bad things happening. Something broke down, something got stolen, got a flat tire, Johnny was sick, had to go to the dentist. If you go to the dentist, please go at the end of the day. Please do it on a Friday. All landscapers, Friday afternoon for dentist appointments. That means it won't interrupt the workflow. Johnny lost his license because he was drinking. Well, that becomes now an HR problem. See how that works? So there's that, goes downhill. That's how this works. So all the bad things here go down there. Didn't hand in your paperwork. Huh. How many of you, well, I won't even ask this question. The question would be, how many of you forgot to hand in your timesheets and then expected to get paid on time? Right? So we have a process solution for that. That's called the timekeeping app that EXD can help you with. Will it save money? Hell yeah. Will your HR person quit now? No, because they got the information. They don't have to chase you. And they're really nice people. They're not like me, mean. So they don't want to chase you, and they feel bad. And then they stay overtime to get your hours, put it in, and then they get frustrated, and then they quit. Now I got a bigger problem. And that's how this works, and that's how your companies work. So we want to get rid of this orange, minimize the orange, and have a beautiful green workflow. I didn't show all of this, but I mapped out every single role, who does what, when, what time of the day, what week. I've got spring, summer, fall. Everything's figured out. So if you want to know what the actual roles are, I figured them out. Did I do this in isolation? Hell no. I fielded all of my staff to find out what you did, what caused your problems, and then I listed them, organized them, reorganized them, and created this massive list. So there's also a yellow section, which is the planning section. Without planning, you're screwed. You cannot scale a business. Some of you have better memories than others, granted. There's a certain point where if I have 100 people, I cannot manage it all, which means I got to have wicked systems. The yellow represents the meetings. Which meeting who has to be in. Does that make sense? So if you want to be a boutique business, you can get away with murder. If you want to become an empire, you better have some great processes or the wheels will fall off. I just gave you a couple of simple explanations of one thing that goes wrong and the downside consequences. My delivery got screwed up, so-and-so's frustrated. Now we start blaming each other. This is where the blame game comes. So, what happens is, in most businesses in landscaping, 4 of every 10 hours is wasted. In a 10-hour day, 4 of every 10 hours is wasted. Some of it we can't control. Breaks, lunch, okay? If you're that family business and you don't care about human rights, you will not work, you will not take breaks or eat lunch. There you go. That company's going to beat you. Okay? But when they hire employees, they've got some obligations. Does that make sense? There are some companies, there was one company, I forgot, I think the grounds guys, they had like 14 boys or something like that. I don't know what it was. Anyway, like that's a cheap labor force. So make lots of kids, okay? Don't teach them too much, just what they need to know, and you too can operate like that. So we want to get rid of the waste. If we get rid of the waste, that means that we can charge less, we can do more, we can get better jobs. We have lower turnover, we have a better workplace, we have better people. If we continue to do that, we can start making some great profits, reinvest the profits in the business, and start to make more money. We've got to get rid of the waste. Got to get rid of the wasted time. I don't mind losing money. I hate wasting time. I can always make more money, but I can't make more time. So I got to start eliminating waste.